Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Boris VASILIEV. I'm from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Russian Federation, and I would like to continue discussion on Budapest Convention. I would like to say a few words on this document. As you know, Russia, like the majority of countries in the world, does not participate in this document due to the fact that the convention creates a number of problems for its participants. This convention, which has been developed in the late 90s or the last century, when the level of development of ICTs was low, has become obsolete. During its development, many types of online threats were unknown. In particular, the convention doesn't regulate the issue related to the use of so-called botnets. Also, as an example, there is no reference in the convention on measures against spam, phishing, etc. However, the main problem that makes it impossible for Russia to join the Budapest Convention is paragraph B of Article 32 of the document, which is unacceptable for us. It makes possible for any member state of the convention to get transborder access to information source on the territory of another country directly from involved in the processing of personal data of natural and legal persons of another state, but subject to the consent of such persons. What is the most important? Such kind of access to data takes place without any notification to the competent authorities of the state on the territory of which a source of information is. This creates conditions for illegal entry into the information space of other countries, and so this violates the principle of state sovereignty. Article 32b also creates a fertile ground for the violation of fundamental human rights and freedoms, and in particular the right to privacy. The Russian Federation, in Russian Federation, human rights protection is a priority. We need to understand the fact that human rights can be protected only with the necessary respect for the principles of national sovereignty and non-interference in the internal affairs of states. The denial of any restrictions in Internet will create an atmosphere of criminal permissiveness, which in turn will lead to an increase of human rights violations in the global network. Russia has recently joined the Council of Europe Convention on the protection of individuals with regard to automatic processing of personal data of 1981. In Russia, it is in force since the 1st of September of this year. This international legal instrument, which main purpose is the protection of human rights, creates strong legal framework for the processing of personal data of citizens. And we have questions about the compatibility of two conventions of Council of Europe, of Budapest Convention and of the Convention on Personal Data Protection. This becomes especially relevant after publication in press of some restricted documents of the United States. As you know, the Snowden issue. From these documents, we find out some details about intelligence activities of this country and its allies in the field of information and communication technology. In fact, a global system of interception of users' personal data from around the world was created. On the one hand, this activity contradicts directly to the previously mentioned Council of Europe Convention on Personal Data Protection, and it also contradicts, it also violates the national laws of many countries, including Russia's law. On the other hand, Budapest Convention, in fact, legalizes such actions in respect of the countries participating in Budapest Convention. According to the Budapest Convention, the only requirement for the access to data of citizens of other states is a permission of service provider of any other company involved in data processing. As it is known from recent revelations, American special agencies work closely with leading internet companies and have access to the central servers of such companies as Microsoft, Yahoo, Google, YouTube, Apple, Skype, Facebook, etc. So we can say that they have their permission. Such cooperation allows intelligence agencies to view and analyze internet history, emails, and track users' files transfer both in the territory of the United States and abroad. And within the Budapest Convention, in respect of its members, such actions are legal. We can only guess what is the main task of this illegal instrument. Well, on the other hand, Russia stands for a different approach in the sphere of development of international legal framework on fighting against information crimes. We stand for the development within the United Nations of Convention on combating crimes in the use of information and communication technologies, which should be universal and take into account specialities of all countries without exception. And it should be based on principles of sovereign equality of its participants and non-interference in the internal affairs of the states. Thank you.